Okay. Fuck.
Did not do it.
I haven't checked yet. Okay.
Yep, yeah, I got it. I got the announcement or the notification. I love it.
What show did you watch?
I had nothing there. I had to finish the Nexus one. Nexus what if?
Bruh.
Yeah, I had to do school shit.
Bro, look at the link. Look at the last letter. Or the last thing. What does it say? Wink.
I'm going to wake.
What?
Wake. What the fuck? Alright, that is good. That is tweeted. I must have screenshotted your tweet.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to put your @ in my tweet. It's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit this week.
It'll take some extra time. Fun. Right. Size. Exclamation point. Gotta get the hashtags again. And boom. Everything's up. Let me go to the comment section now. No shit. You sure we're up? You sure we're live? Hold on. Go on to the channel.
Yes.
Open it in live stream. Alright, yeah, it is.
This seems to be true.
It is. I don't know why I just said there was an error with the live stream. I was watching it, but now it's good. Alright, yeah. No one in the comments so far. No one watching so far. But we're only what, 3 minutes in? Yeah, 3 minutes in. Okay, tweet.
The way my tweet looks, you just see it at the bottom, right under you all. Wank.
God. Wank.
Did you see the new NXT Tag Team Champions?
Yeah, I saw one. That's gonna be some good shit.
Wolf is just left out.
Swear, just there. Bruh.
Where's Claire?
Check the comments. And so far, it's still just me in the comments.
I'm dead.
Fuck.
I'm gonna have a wank in my Instagram bio for the next 2 days. Okay.
God.
Nice try this. I know we're good. It was a very long process, ladies and gentlemen.
Very long process. In this process.
Starting now.
Starting now.
We're in the process. Starting now.
Of the process. Starting now.
Bro, why do you sound so mad?
So
This is gonna be the moment.
no. The fuck?
Okay. What? We have 2 watchers.
Oh shit. Wait, it's just the both of us?
No, I'm just getting here now.
Oh shit. It's like
Okay.
one for me.
We have 2 watchers.
Oh shit. Wait, it's just the both.
Okay. Audio was good.
The game audio is good. Gotta check that.
Oh, it's good. I didn't check it though.
Okay. Just in case.
That was loud. What? Oh, probably my rapper.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. The only sound I have on is the music, and it doesn't pick it up anyway, so we are good to go. Okay. What was that? 8 minutes? For some fuck ups, I did that pretty fast. Since you can't edit tweets. Okay. Alright.
Alright.
Okay. What is up, guys? We're back with another edition of the Notorious podcast. This is episode 6, part 1 of episode 6. This is the What Ifs. It's I, Johnny Mayhem, here with Sir K. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing.
No pun intended.
Yes, sir. I'm doing great.
Okay, guys. So anyway, I'm just playing. How are you doing, bro?
God damn, I'm doing good, man. Just chilling. Yeah, how are you doing on this day?
I fucking hate my job. That's all you need to know. And now we we that's basically what I've been up to, man. But this is the fun part of my doing a podcast here, guys. Last time we were doing this, we came to you guys with what if the streak was never broken, and what if Daniel Bryan never resigned in 2018, in the summer of 2018. We booked that a couple weeks back, so if you guys want to go about a month back and check that out, more than welcome to. Obviously, some great bookings. We are here with if John, God damn it, what if John Cena turned heel? And we're booking this as in terms of like whenever, just because there's so many points, it's hard to pinpoint one where he could have turned heel. But yeah, and yeah. So just any of our choosing, just what we would have, how we would have booked it, and what if Team WWE never beat the Nexus in 2010? I remember watching that one. I was a child. I remember exactly where I was. And yeah, that's how you know it's a moment, right? That's what they say. So yeah, I guess we'll start off with we kick it off with the Nexus one. I guess.
Alright, cool.
You wanna go? Kick it off? Or would you like?
Sure. That's it. Well, if I kick off this one, would I kick off the second? I'll go first. Fuck it. I don't care. Shit. Fuck it.
No one cares.
Alright. No one cares. Team WWE versus Team Nexus match kicks off there, and of course, how it should have ended in that match. Cena loses. Well, Team WWE loses. Nexus wins, and how it ended is by
Bye.
Alright, hold on, I gotta look at my notes again. I got a very bad handwriting here, ladies and gentlemen. I have to read through it. Alright, so there's only a few remaining members left of each team. There's two for each team, remaining members. There is Cena and Bryan, and Barrett, and well, the other member doesn't matter, let's just say it's Skip. Little good old Skip. And what happens is they get to the face-to-face, final four, but the final two for each team. They're getting face-to-face, and Nexus, Barrett and Skip, they get a grin on their face. They look at Cena, and they look at Bryan, and Bryan grows a grin on his face. He attacks Cena. They all start beating up Cena. Bryan lays on the ground to, be voluntarily eliminated. He does. And then remaining two members of Nexus start to beat down on Cena. Cena gets the upper hand. He eliminates Skip. But then, and it's just, at that point, it's just Cena and Barrett one-on-one. And Barrett pins Cena and wins him. And, well, wins the match.
He wins it.
He wins.
Beautiful.
Fuck. So yeah, he beats Cena, and Nexus celebrate. They probably beat up Cena some more, and they celebrate with the remaining. Well,
hey, you didn't pick your guy.
Shit.
Yeah,
the
8
old,
seconds. Oh.
the old but returning member Daniel Bryan. So that's where SummerSlam ends, and the next week on Raw, Nexus come out and explain that they had this plan from the very beginning, that they would quote unquote kick Bryan out, and fuck, I should probably say, alright, that they would kick Bryan out, and whoever would challenge them first, they would know, would go for Bryan for assistance, for you know, because obvious reasons. So they planted him for that reason. If anyone were to ever go against them, they would go to Brian, and Brian would be still with them the whole time, just to eliminate whoever was trying to go against them. That's what they did with Cena. And then Cena comes out, and he's talking about how they did outsmart himself, Cena, but they didn't out-wrestle him. Where Barrett interrupts him saying, yeah, I did at the end. It was me and you, and the better man won. Barrett says Cena has two options. He could keep fighting us, to no avail, or join us. Cena denies, obviously. Cena denies, obviously. Bitch. Cena denies, obviously. And, wait, hold on, fuck, I'm just... And Barrett says he saw that, you know, reaction coming. Fucking bitch. Bitch. And, you know, Barrett saw that reaction coming. So, he shows a video of the Titantron, and it's of the locker room. You gotta show that. And it shows a video of the locker room, and it's all the Team Raw, or not Team Raw, the Team W members that are in the locker room, and they're all beat up. All of them are just beat up and like basically a pile of each other in the locker room. And Barrett says before they went out there to talk, they did that as an example, if because you're either Nexus or damn, they got eliminated. Because you're either Nexus or against us. He tells Cena that he could be a part of that pile of pile of knocked out people, or he could be one of the ones standing over that pile. And then Barrett pulls out an armband, an Nexus armband, and holds it like towards Cena.
Here,
and that's where that segment ends.
Are we seeing the same screen?
Yeah. Why?
Am I eliminated for you?
No.
Are you beating up Adam Cole? Wait.
He's beating me up, but yeah.
Oh shit, he's beating me up. God damn it. I just keep playing it. You continue?
Yeah. I'm sure I got eliminated. Who cares? And then focus on talking anyway. So, and then they weigh that decision and options for a few more weeks. You know, Nexus keep making examples of people like they do. And then eventually the GM states in an email that they're tired of having their entire roster taken out by this decision. So the GM says Cena's fate will be decided in the ring. In a match of Cena versus Barrett. If Cena wins, the Nexus won't get a contract, they'll be fired, that's it. But if Barrett wins, Cena must join the Nexus. And that match is announced for Hell in a Cell. And at Hell in a Cell, a match happens, and it's a very competitive match. Most of it, Cena's got the upper hand because Cena. And near the end, Barrett gets the upper hand, hits him with his finisher, and as Cena's laying on the ground, he looks up at Barrett as they both give nods to each other. As Barrett pins Cena and wins. Cena is handed the armband, and he puts the armband on, and he can't, take his shirt off to reveal a Nexus shirt because he wasn't wearing a shirt when he was wrestling. So right now he's just shirtless with the Nexus band. But yeah, and that's where that show ends. Nexus celebrate. Cena's there. He's not marking out, but he's not fucking depressed like he was in real life in that situation. And then on the next episode of Raw, when they come out and cut the promo, Cena says in the promo that he knew what he had to do. Right.
Forget the line.
Yeah.
I know what I have to
That's what he
do.
says. That's all he says. Yeah. That's what that's all Cena says, is just he knew what he had to do by joining the Nexus.
Yep.
And then couple months go by, and eventually Wade Barrett wins the world title, whether it's at Survivor Series or Night of Champions, he wins that title.
Right.
You know. Bragging rights, yes. That also happened that year. And then wait. No. He doesn't win the world title at any of those shows. He has a match for it at the Royal Rumble. And then it was revealed afterwards, but I'll say it now, that he has a match for the title at Royal Rumble, but in the Rumble match, he sent multiple Nexus members in the match to make sure no one that could be a threat wins the Royal Rumble. Because, if he wins the title, he wouldn't want any threats. So he sends Nexus members to, deal with that. At Royal Rumble, in the match, he wins the world title. And then, in the Royal Rumble match later on, 4 Nexus guys are in there. Cena is one of them. And Cena ends up just being 2 people. Wait, how do I remember it? Yeah, being 2 people, Cena and CM Punk. And Cena ends up letting CM Punk win it. Raw the next week, Barrett explains he had that plan of having Nexus do that, but not do that. He says that Cena wasn't even supposed to be in that group that went to the Rumble. Of course he wouldn't trust Cena to do that. So he says that. He says, but Cena retaliates and said he was just following orders of the Raw GM. Look at that, he emailed him. He said he's in the match, so he thought to do that. Barrett says the orders were to make sure no threat wins. So Punk, he's there too. He smirks and he says, so you think I'm a threat? No. Of course Barrett would say that. He's like, nah, you ain't a threat. So, that.
Hood wave. Nah, you ain't a threat.
nah, man, you ain't a threat. Fuck his British ass. Yeah. So that feud builds.
Huh?
No, I just gotta read the notes.
I was like, wait, is that my cue? I thought you said, alright, go on. I was like, oh shit.
That's how the story ends. So that feud builds, and it gets to Mania.
Yes.
And at the match, well, first of all, I forgot to explain this again. It is announced that in that match, there's a stipulation to that match that if the Nexus interfere, Barrett loses title and the win goes to Punk. So, he can't keep the title by disqualification. So, that match happens. Competitive match, obviously. And then, near the end of the match, Cena runs down and he, starts beating up Punk. And then that causes Punk to win the title. Nexus come out, looks at Cena and Punk, and they're looking at him, and they beat up Barrett as the show goes off the air. That was the main event of that Mania, by the way. So, just to throw that little fact in there. On Raw, the next night, or whenever, Nexus come out and explain that Cena went to them and went to Punk with a plan. That this was his plan all along. He knew he couldn't just beat Nexus, he knew he had to destroy them from within. So he had this plan to, have them turn on their leader, and he thought that they would, disband after that. But, hold on, got a lot of notes here. Punk says, yes, those were your plans, but now Punk has plans of his own, as he laughs, and the Nexus beat up Cena. As Punk explains that his plans were far from Barrett's. Barrett runs out, helping Cena, that's where that Raw segment ends, is Barrett running to save Cena and, getting him out of there. Different Raw, a couple weeks later, Cena comes out with Barrett. Cena says that this better not, wait, that this better, wait, like, a terrible thing. That this better not be one of Barrett's plans. Barrett says there are no more plans since Cena got his group got the Nexus to turn on him, Barrett. Now, Barrett says he's got to rise, maybe your way or some other way, referring to maybe building up a face run as Barrett. He says that you thought that getting me off the leadership would end the Nexus. But the Nexus wasn't my group, that wasn't my idea. And then he goes on to explain more, but then Nexus runs out, they beat him up, and then an email from the general manager says Barrett is banned from Raw indefinitely. Nexus continue to, beat people up, while Barrett tries to expose some truth with Cena. Well, not about Cena, but, with Cena. They're kind of on the same side. He tries to expose some truth he's talking about. Eventually, Barrett let slip on some episode that Nexus isn't ran by him or Punk. It's ran by, and then Nexus have to, get called down to beat him up again, to not make him talk. And as Nexus are beating him up, he gets to yell out that Nexus is ran by the GM. Cena comes out to save Barrett, and he yells not yells, but he gets on the mic and he says the GM should be stepped down of power for abusing, his power through the Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
And then an email is sounded from that computer that Cole always gets to, but it's from Vince McMahon. He says the GM must reveal himself the next week of Raw. On the next week of Raw, Nexus, Barrett, and Cena are all out there, and the GM is revealed as Paul Heyman. He says that he came up with the idea of the Nexus. He said he came to Barrett with an idea not of Barrett's group, not even of his group, of just a group of unity, and an idea. The idea of unity for those who can't rise the ranks of this company on their own, that can need a group, a force to do it. And then the Nexus then kick Punk out the group. And then history goes on at that point. Nexus go on to evolve from different leaders and members to a Bullet Club-like faction through history. That's what I got.
Wow.
Yep.
That was lifting.
Thank you, sir.
Fuck. I tapped. Okay.
Oh, damn. I think that's just angry for you, too.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
That was very good. It's very good. Okay. So, basically, what if Cena never beat the Nexus? I realize I should have went first because I have the bullet points of how the story actually happened, so I'll go first for the next one.
Oh, I got you.
So, how the story actually happened, if you guys don't know, Team WWE wins at SummerSlam. They win at SummerSlam, they go over the Nexus, and pretty much, man, that's... Hold on, I'll wait till we get another game. Are you in the... Okay, yeah. Cool. Alright. I'll wait till we get another game, and then I will speak.
Yeah. You shall speak, sir, about your amazing story, or amazing booking of these events that unfolded.
people. I'm looking for NXT people. Oh. And I got the last one. Because when I see this guy, I think of this guy. Okay. Okay, so how the story actually unfolded. Cena, Team WWE wins at SummerSlam. They bury the Nexus. Then Barrett would go on to defeat Cena at Hell in a Cell and make him join the Nexus. Cena would end up getting fired for Barrett's loss at Survivor Series after he so uncharismatically joined the group. Next up, Cena would get rehired only a couple weeks later because he showed up. He showed up the exact next week after his firing and took out each member of the Nexus, just slowly but surely. Cena would end up burying Wade Barrett at TLC, and then Barrett was kicked out of the group shortly after, and they shortly after disbanded and turned into the new Nexus with CM Punk as their leader. So okay, what if the Nexus didn't lose? I'll tell you. So Team Nexus wins at SummerSlam, and they earn their contracts. Because I remember after they attacked Bret Hart, they had the GM of Raw. They had the GM of Monday Night Raw grant them with contracts. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have them fight for their contracts at SummerSlam, because that was the whole point of their group, is they wanted to earn contracts. At Night of Champions, Slater and Gabriel would go on to win the Tag Team Championships at Night of Champions 2010, which I actually not attended that event, but I was there before the show trying to meet a wrestler. I ended up meeting a ref.
Mark.
At Hell in a Cell, I'm going to have Daniel Bryan. Yes, he is still in the group. I am booking this as if Daniel Bryan did not get fired. Wins the United States Championship. So this group is slowly starting to take on the dripping in gold aspect, you know.
Yes.
At Hell in a Cell, Barrett beats Cena clean. No Husky Harris or Michael McGillicuddy interruptions, because this group is stronger than ever at this point, and they don't need new people, and they don't need to kick anybody out. And Cena joins the Nexus. However, I don't realize he was still wearing the armbands, or he was still wearing his t-shirt. He was still wearing his t-shirt. He was still wearing his armbands, his t-shirt, his hats. I'm going to keep it just like that. He doesn't even put on an armband. He completely hates this, just like in normal life. And how they actually booked it. He completely hates this. Now, Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett at Survivor Series with the same stipulation. If Wade Barrett does not walk out with the WWE Championship, John Cena is fired. Now, Cena looks very uneasy about this whole match. He doesn't really know who to count for. He doesn't want to be fired, but he doesn't want to be in this group. Now, Randy is setting up the RKO. He's patting the ring, punching the ring like he does. And all of a sudden, the Nexus come from the crowd. They surround the ring. Before the Nexus, and Cena is in the ring with Wade and Randy. He's just doing ref things, just standing in the corner. And the Nexus, before the Nexus can get in the ring, Cena punches Randy Orton and hits him with, not punches him, just hits him with the AA and calls and points to the Nexus in to come beat him up with him. They attack Randy Orton, and Wade Barrett wins the WWE Championship at Survivor Series. And Cena looks at Wade and takes the Hustle, Loyalty, Respect armband off to reveal a Nexus armband, and he takes the referee shirt off to reveal that he is fully embracing the hate as a member of the Black and Gold. And Cena fully embraces the hate and helps Nexus with everything from here on out. So attacking people, just Nexus things. Now, I lost my picture. Shit. Okay, here we go. Wade and Cena grow huge egos in both because we're going to give off the aspect that neither of these guys know who the leader is. Well, the other members do, but the other members don't really know who the leader of this faction is at this point.
Exactly.
But they just kind of take commands from both of them just because Cena's such a huge name, but Barrett's their OG, so it's like it just gives off the like who's the real leader kind of feel here. Building to WrestleMania, Cena and Barrett become a little more distant with each other. Not like hating each other or costing each other matches, but just kind of doing things to kind of counteract. In terms of Cena would rather want the Nexus to stay when people are running down to the ring to help their friends, like, what does call it, the cavalry. Cena wants them to stay and fight, as where Barrett would play it safe and have everybody retreat. Kind of things to throw the Nexus into hot water. You know, trying to maybe get them hurt on purpose, just little things like that. At Elimination Chamber, Barrett defends his championship against Edge, and Cena gets in the ring. After the match, Cena runs down to the ring to celebrate with Wade, but Cena stares at Wade. He points at the ramp, points at the others to come down, and the Nexus come down and surround the ring. Wade laughs as his whole group is looking at him, including Cena, Gabriel, Slater, Tarver, Sheffield, Young. All of them are staring at Wade. Wade laughs, and all of the members turn at Cena and beat down John Cena. Wade exposes Cena the next night on Raw and knew that he was having private conversations with each member of the Nexus, and Cena gets exposed for trying to take out Wade and make himself the leader. This turns Cena back to the point, and not really he's not babyface, but now he's mad that they find out that what he was trying to do, and he was mad that he could not trust any of the members of the Nexus, and he helped them do things like retain their championships and stuff like that. Cena just kind of trying to, just kind of like an ego battle here. Wade exposes Cena, and Cena is not he can go back to wearing his armbands and shit, but but not really pandering to the audience, just kind of, not really back to just Smiley John, but a little more hell-bent on just destroying the Nexus after they outsmarted him with the plan. Cena versus Wade at WrestleMania 27, and surprisingly, in the main event of WrestleMania, Wade Barrett and John Cena for the WWE Championship. Surprisingly, Wade Barrett beats John Cena clean, and that is it for the main part of the story. Now, after that, Cena does not get the happy super guy win, just because, so that's the whole point of the what if. What if the Nexus was just too much for Cena? Now, Cena, basically what would happen with him after that, he would be taken off TV for months. More so, I would book this after SummerSlam. He comes back, and after SummerSlam 2011, so the Summer of Punk does not exist. Think about that. Obviously, because Cena is a huge part of that. Cena comes back, and that is when he gets challenged by The Rock. Not a year in advance, but we can get a not needed. And Cena would come back, and he would question himself, question why he would stoop to the levels of joining the Nexus and turn his back on all his fans. And The Rock comes out and challenges him, and he questions Cena as well. He calls him a failure. He calls his whole generation a failure. He says that John will never amount to the likes of Stone Cold and himself. and that is where that feud would come from. Basically, The Rock just questioning him, questioning his generation, questioning his work ethic, questioning how much he really loves this, instead of just, you and me are next year, and the reason is because it's once in a lifetime. That there's no reason. They don't have beef.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But here, it opens up for some story. Now, as far as the Nexus, these guys go on to just be completely dominant. They can lose the championships and still be dominant. Obviously, over the years, people get older and stuff, so you can continue to include more members. However, I keep Wade the same leader. I think that's just Wade was great in that. I think he's a great talker. I think he's just great in the ring. I would keep him as the leader, but as far as introducing new guys guys like a Zack Ryder who just won't get a chance without Nexus, because they're just hated and looked at as dweebs by the company and people that will never be pushed. So that's how I book it, man. That's how I book it.
Okay. I really liked yours.
Thank you, sir.
What I forgot to mention is the end of Nexus versus Cena. I forgot to add that in at the end. I forgot to tell you guys that.
But, what do you got?
Oh yeah, Cena would eventually get drafted. Paul Heyman's last decision as GM would be he made a deal to send Cena to SmackDown. So that was how Nexus and Cena finally ended. But I like yours. I like how you tied in The Rock versus Cena as Cena's redemption, as Cena's pullback into reality. I really like that.
And it ties into my next one, actually, too, because... Okay, what if Cena never turned heel? I'm booking this in 2012, after the loss to The Rock. Now, what happened? Cena lost to The Rock. Next thing, Brock Lesnar returned after some odd years being gone. He returned just to be beaten by John Cena. John Cena would then be in a feud with John Laurinaitis and People Power. And after that, he would be in a feud with the newly heel-turned Big Show. After that, he would go on to become Mr. Money in the Bank and end up being, I believe at the time it was the first loser, the guy to lose a cash-in. He would go on to then lose to Punk and Ziggler to end 2011 and win the 2013 Royal Rumble and go on to beat The Rock at Mania. Now, here we go. Cena booked the same leading to Money in the Bank. Booked the same leading to Money in the Bank, so he is going to... Actually, I'm going to have him lose to Brock. That's all I'd tweak, because this year is going to be just a year of lose for him, because it's...
Yeah.
And the reason I'm tying in my Nexus one is because it ties in perfectly with the whole lose moniker. He lost to the Nexus. The Nexus was just too much for him to handle. He loses to The Rock after The Rock was questioning his love and dedication for this business. He ends up losing to The Rock there. After that, he would end up losing to Lesnar, losing to John Laurinaitis. He can win a feud with a Big Show. I mean, it's the fucking Big Show. He can win that one, which I believe he did. He is going to win the Money in the Bank match, and that's where I'm picking this up. He is going to win the Money in the Bank match. He is going to have feuds with Alberto Del Rio, Chris Jericho, and Ryback. Obviously, Ryback was a hot commodity at the time. In 2012. That is going to be the year of 2012 for him. Now, he can win some of them. He can lose some of them. He's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, so it's not like him losing is going to do too much to him. However, we don't want to have him lose all of them, which is why I would maybe have him lose to up-and-coming Ryback, or not, maybe just because Ryback fucking sucks. Or I'm going to have him lose to or he's gonna beat Alberto Del Rio. That's the for sure one. Maybe lose to Jericho, but I'm going to have him lose only 2 of those and win one of them. Personally, I'd probably rather have it be Jericho, but at the time they really like Ryback. So anyway, it's not like those matters. Those are going to be the nothing feuds to get him through 2012, just the kind of mini feuds.
Yeah.
Cena competes and wins to be in the Royal Rumble, so he has earned a spot in the Royal Rumble at this point, the 2013 Royal Rumble. Cena is shockingly going to win the Royal Rumble and still be the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we need to get him in that main event because unless you are in an authority role like Seth was when he competed for the WWE Championship against Cena Lesnar, he doesn't really have a reason other than blatant favoritism to be in that match. So we're going to have him compete to be in the Royal Rumble and end up winning his match to get in the Royal Rumble. And yeah, he is going to shockingly win the Royal Rumble. Now, CM Punk and The Rock are going to still have their match at the Royal Rumble 2013. Let me just get these people in here really quick. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Where is he?
Oh, Ribby.
I gotta do it.
Okay. Back to where I was at. Okay. If Cena wins the Royal Rumble, still has the briefcase in 2013. CM Punk and The Rock still have their WWE Championship match at Royal Rumble 2013. And it ends by no contest because of the Shield. And babyface CM Punk is confused. Yes, he is still a babyface. We did not turn him heel like Raw 1000 when he turned.
Yeah.
Who the heck is Ruby? He's one of those like goofy characters they put in the game through the story mode.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny if I just claymored you. Like,
oh my god, bruh. What?
So yes, CM Punk does not turn heel. He just continues being just a babyface, just because that was his role. And the fact that they just took that away from him, with him being so hot, is just ridiculous at that point. Fucking CM Punk, fucking phenomenal as a babyface, just because everybody liked him. So what's the point there? Okay. No contest via Shield, and babyface CM Punk is confused. The Rock seeks answers from CM Punk at WrestleMania, challenging him to a match because he thinks Punk had to do with the Shield attacking him. Now, Cena inserts himself in the match to make a triple threat. Cena expresses how this means so much to him because other than the Nexus, these two guys are his biggest failures from the past year. Obviously, I would still have them have that match at I would have obviously the Rock being one of his biggest failures, and CM Punk because he what the fuck am I trying to say? Because he wants the WWE Championship, because he wasn't able to get it. Obviously, he hasn't had it for some odd years at this point. Obviously, the Summer of Punk shit. So, yes, Summer of Punk obviously is a huge burden on Cena. Obviously, we're one of his biggest failures. Yes, Cena inserts himself into this match to make it a triple threat. Now, during the match at WrestleMania, Punk versus Rock versus Cena, main event, Cena gets eliminated first. Not that he gets eliminated quick, but he just gets eliminated first. And Are you still there? Are you still with us?
I'm still with
Oh,
you.
okay. Okay. He gets eliminated first and sits on ramp. Deja vu 1 year earlier after The Rock beat him when he was sitting on the ramp looking. Obviously one of the most iconic images in wrestling. Obviously Cena sitting on the ramp. But this time he's doing the same exact thing 1 year later, but this time he has a briefcase with him.
Ooh.
Now, Punk wins the match, and the Shield come out and attack CM Punk.
Ooh.
Cena is running to Punk's aid to help him, and when Cena gets in the ring, he clunks CM Punk with his briefcase, and the Shield and John Cena beat up CM Punk.
Ooh.
Cena cashes in and wins the WWE Championship, showing the Shield worked for him all along. Now, they are not... Now, the reason he had them intertwine at the Rumble is because Cena did not want to see The Rock, the man that beat him 1 year earlier and utterly embarrassed him in front of 80,000 people, win the WWE Championship. They are not a faction. Cena just paid them off. They're not a faction. Cena just paid them off to do his dirty work. Now, Cena feuds with CM Punk over the Summer of Punk Part 2, just 2 years later. And Cena beats him at SummerSlam. The final payoff to this, Cena beats him. And CM Punk, what was this, 2013? He's probably out the door already, or close to it. I think he left in 2014, so he's close to being out the door. He could feud with Brock or whatever. Dude, just CM Punk just does not beat John Cena, as the heel Cena is now in effect. Now, the Authority offers Cena a spot, because this is at the time, 2013, late 2013 is the time that the Authority was just getting started. Now, they offer John Cena a spot. They offer him a lot of money to run with them, pretty much. And he leaves the semi-alliance with the Shield. He basically tells them he doesn't need them anymore, and the Authority attack the Shield. The Authority being, I believe Randy Orton was in the original installment of it. Triple H. They attack the Shield. And the Shield, seemingly, this is where they get their face turner. Cena feuds with Dean Ambrose because, for the coming months after this, because Seth and Roman are the tag champs at this time. Cena wins feud. Oh fuck, I'm getting pinned. Okay. Cena wins the feud with Ambrose as the Wyatts want the Shield's gold. Also, there is a 5 versus 5 Authority versus the Shield, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk at Survivor Series, and Daniel Bryan overcomes the Authority. Now, what does this start to have? What makes this start? What is the effect of this? The Authority start to pick on Daniel Bryan, making him work for a Rumble spot, obviously, because this is about the beginning of December, so now we gotta start focusing on the Royal Rumble, and they are picking on Daniel Bryan, making him do a gauntlet match to earn a Royal Rumble spot, putting him against anybody, really. Anybody. There's people that are good. Bryan works so hard to get his spot in the Royal Rumble, wins his series of matches, just for the Authority to tell him that he worked so hard for the number 1 spot in the hour, and wins the Royal Rumble, and they stripped him of his spot just because they can. Daniel Bryan rebels and defies the Authority and starts the Yes movement, forcing them to give him his spot back by the Occupy Raw segment. So instead of them not putting him in the main event, Daniel Bryan is going to be doing that Occupy Raw segment, because of the fact that, not that he wants to be in the main event, but the fact that he won the Royal Rumble and they were so quickly going to give it away to whoever. Now,
Yeah.
DB forces them to give him his spot back. Now, Daniel Bryan, the stage is set. Daniel Bryan versus the heel authority, corporate John Cena, obviously at WrestleMania 30, and that is where WrestleMania comes from in my booking. It does not come from a Orton and Batista triple threat. Instead, it comes from Daniel Bryan defying the definition of the company man, John Cena, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30. That's how I would have booked it, and yeah, what do you got, bro?
Nice. I dig that shit, bro. So, and I got mine starts in 2006. It starts at that ECW One Night Stand match. Now, in real life, you all know what happened. Fucking Edge came in to help RVD. RVD won the title. Fans hated John, and John would go on to do, you know, Cena, that at the time so hated reign of, you know, main events, you know, you could say. So mine starts there in that match. So the match goes on as normal up to the point where Paul Heyman runs out to, you know, replace the ref, and he stops at the second count after RVD hits John Cena with the splash. You know, he counts it, and at the second count, Heyman stops. Cena jumps up, putting RVD in the FU position, because it was the FU at the time, not the AA. And he pins, he, you know, FUs RVD and pins him, wins. As RVD is clearly trying to kick out, you know, Heyman fast counts the pin. After the match, Cena gets a mic from Heyman, and he says, whether or not I'm the guy, I'm the man of this company, I'm the new face, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. Back there, they believe in me. If you don't, oh well, you're not the one making this company money. And RVD, you know, verily, you know, speaks out that, you know, he's like, this isn't you, you know, what the hell, shit like that. On Raw the next night, or just on Raw in general, a couple weeks after, Heyman and Cena come out to explain what Cena was, you know, what he did. So, hold on. Oh yeah, so he explains that the fans hated him for no reason, that the fans doesn't respect him. He thought the fans respected him until that night. He finally realized he don't. And while before this, Heyman came up to him and told him that if the fans ever lose faith in him, and he ever loses faith in the fans, come to him. So that's what he did. He came to Heyman for guidance, for help, a way to rise to the company without caring about what the fans say. You know, then Edge comes out. He calls out Cena, calls him delusional. He calls him that, you know, what he's doing is wrong, that he's, you know, all that type of shit. And that no one will respect him now, what he's doing. That builds up to a match at Revolution. The review after that, Cena wins that match. A couple Raws after that. Wait. Damn, I fucked up. Wait, was it Revolution or Vengeance? Well, whatever. A couple Raws after that, pay-per-view, Cena comes out and cuts a promo. RVD, you know, comes out interrupting his promo and challenges him to a match at SummerSlam that year. Gotta go second page of the notes. They build that match, and at SummerSlam, Cena wins barely. He just barely beats RVD, getting the upper hand. And then there was a rematch at Unforgiven. Oh wait, by the way. Yeah, another match at Unforgiven. Cena barely wins. Again, just getting on the edge, winning. RVD later tells Cena that his mindset of, you know, of Cena is what's making him weaker. Because Cena's barely winning these matches, and RVD's explaining that he had his power when the fans were with him. Well, when he knew the fans were with him. Even though they booed him, they were always with him, and the old Cena knew that. You just lost it, and now that's why he could just barely beat me. And at No Mercy, it is built up. Wait, I have a flaw in my booking. Hold on. Let's just say that match, that 2006 match wasn't for the title. I just realized I fucked up. RVD's still champ at this point. I forgot to mention that. I fucked up. RVD's still champ at this point. I forgot to mention that. So on No Mercy, it builds up of RVD versus, it's gonna sound bad at first, but the Big Show. You know, we all know what the Big Show's known for. So, of course, Big Show loses that match, and he, turns heel. You know, that's expected of people. Even as RVD's getting beat up, he's like, oh, expected, I planned for this. So he starts getting the upper hand against, Big Show a little. But then Cena runs out. RVD sees that, and he's like, I thought this was typical. And Cena laughs, has a mic, and he says, you probably planned for him to do this, but did you plan for us to do this? As we see multiple men start running out to beat up RVD. And then we see that these men are CM Punk, Chris Benoit, Sandman, and a returning Dudley Boys. Because, bro, at the time I was looking at that 2006 tag division, I don't know if it was just the forums I was seeing, but, bro, I couldn't find no, like, top tag teams at the time, bro. So, I just went with the surprise returning Dudley Boys. So, they're apart. So they all come out, they start beating up RVD. Cena says that if this new mindset makes him weaker against people like him, then he'll flip that weakness around onto you. As they all stand in the ring, Cena takes off his, normal Cena, clothes and armbands, revealing an NWO branded everything, shirt, armband, they all do. So, Cena has his own version of his own NWO. So, that happens. A couple weeks later, RVD gets a group of guys to fight, the NWO, the Cena NWO, at Survivor Series. Eventually he gets it. I couldn't find great names for this group either, so I just put Jericho as one of them, and there's a bunch of others versus the NWO. And and Cena, RVD is still the champion at this point, I'll let you guys know. Cena, and the stipulation of that little match, of that, Survivor Series match, is if Cena wins, or if the NWO wins, Cena gets the title shot at RVD's title. NWO wins at the end, and eventually, a couple pay-per-views later, Cena wins the title against RVD. And for about 2 years, he has, reigns and feuds, help from the NWO, they got reigns, probably a returning DX they feud with, shit like that. And goes on to year 3. What would that be? Wait, we're gonna do the math. So 09. So this is 09. NWO are slowly losing numbers and power. A couple guys, occasionally leave, shit like that. Sometimes they get injured, And then CM Punk and Cena develop a power struggle in their new group, in the NWO, as the year goes on. Cut to year 4, 2010, as the power struggle increased, very much, very, big power struggle, as a new challenger debuts, the Nexus debut. So, eventually evolves into a feud with NWO versus Nexus. Now, Cena's Nexus and NWO end up getting, like I said, into a big feud, and at either SummerSlam or Survivor Series, couldn't really decide which one would be cooler. I would think SummerSlam, because it'll make SummerSlam all that bigger, in a match. They end the feud by, Alright, so it's in the match. It's in that match of NWO versus Nexus. And in this match, at the end, there are 3 of each. CM Punk, Cena, and another for NWO, and then 3 of Nexus members. Punk ends up turning on Cena, and so does the other NWO member. They pin Cena, and eventually this leads to the NWO losing that match, Nexus beating them and ending Cena's NWO. So Nexus, wait, what the fuck? So it's Allison. Fuck. So they beat, so Nexus and Cena's NWO. Punk's now control them. Wait, hold on, gotta read the notes. But yeah, so eventually, at the end of the match, the NWO, the rest of them jump Cena, and so do the Nexus. They also jump Cena after NWO leaves. And Cena's there, left in the ring, sitting there all alone. He lost. NWO, Nexus isn't like, they don't like him, clearly, or they aren't. In this universe, no big feud between Nexus and Cena. That big feud was NWO versus Nexus, and that proved to Cena that he can't beat them already. So you don't need to go into deep, that. But this starts the like programming of Cena's mind to what he should have been, what he was back then. For the next 2 years, Cena struggles, who he is with his struggle. He denies that he should go back to his old way. He's denying that this, basically heel Cena is weak. He's denying it. That all changes. That all evolves. Eventually, a new challenger, a new fan favorite starts to rise among the ranks of the fans and favorites. This person is, of course, Daniel Bryan. So, Daniel Bryan's rising through the ranks, and the Authority is behind Cena, and Cena is like their version of Orton. And, how they had Orton versus their Retaliator versus, Bryan in real life. That's Cena's point in this real life. That's all he has. All he has is the Authority. And eventually, Cena's not the champion. Cena wins the championship. And wait, no. Hold on. Cena doesn't win the championship. Cena gets the current champion to lose the champion against someone, not Bryan, just a babyface, a general babyface. And that causes the Authority to turn on Cena. They kick him out. So, again, Cena is all alone. Cena, he's still in denial, and he eventually gets to win the Money in the Bank, and he cashes in against that current champion, whatever babyface it was. And then that leads to Daniel Bryan wanting that championship, but him and the Authority are not allowing it to happen. They keep denying it. Daniel Bryan gets the approval of the fans, gets the help of the fans to get that story really going. And then Cena tells him eventually that he was once you, I was once you, that they'll turn on you like they turned on me. Daniel says back that it was Cena's ego, Cena's lust for, the main event spot that caused them to not like you, but they always respect you, and you just couldn't see it. Cena denies that claim, and this leads to that Mania 30 match of John Cena and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wins clean, and in that celebration is when John Cena is looking around, looking at the confetti, looking at the crowd, marking out, and he finally realizes that this is what they thought of Cena the whole time deep down. They always respected Cena. He finally realizes that. He gets the mic, and he tells Daniel Bryan that, he was wrong. He was blinded this whole time by anger and by denial. He said, I did have an ego. I had an ego problem. I could not be in the main event, and they hated me for it, and I didn't realize that they still respected me, and they always did. My actions made them not respect me anymore. He tells them, that. And the fans, and just, Daniel Bryan made him proud again. See, so they hug, and Cena raises Daniel Bryan's hand, hugs him again, saying he'll make it right eventually, which starts Cena's slow climb back to prominence as babyface. And it's damn, I didn't realize how short this was, but yeah, that's what I got. That's my Cena heel run turn.
I really liked it. I like the ending, the realization of everything.
Yeah, thank you. I realized how you were explaining the story that we both went for Daniel Bryan as our catalyst for John Cena realizing his ways, mostly.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like Cena and Bryan's a mega match, right? But what
Yeah,
if Cena was that company guy, that
yeah,
ultimate villain that Bryan could go against? Because the Authority
the
was the
exact
ultimate
opposite.
villain, but if
Yeah,
you just add the biggest name to the
yeah,
side of the villain, it's John Cena, and
exactly.
Daniel Bryan's your top babyface. So that's kind of where it came from for me.
Hell yeah. I really liked your story, man. I like the one you booked too, bro. Great shit.
Plus, also one of the other things I tried to do too was Bryan overcame the Authority at Survivor Series, and it was like denial from Cena. Like he
Yeah,
did not want to see Bryan overcome. He did not want to see the rise of Daniel Bryan, so they did everything to try to fuck him out of it. You know.
exactly. Legit. I dig it, man. It was great shit.
Thank you, sir.
Very great booking indeed. Definitely, man. I liked your thing with the Rock too. How it made sense with the Rock. I
Oh,
really like how you booked that in
The
to Cena's
Rock.
heel storyline.
Yeah, The Rock was able to break him.
Yeah, that's very good because it's what was gonna happen in real life until John Cena signed a deal with Kmart and Vince pulled the heel one, all for a Kmart deal.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely. Hell yeah, man.
I also like the NWOC Nation.
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, what can I do as heel Cena? And I thought, bro, I was looking at the roster at the time. I was like, ooh, Punk, Benoit, Sandman. I could see them all in some NWO type faction. That's what I
For
did.
sure.
I was, I
Yeah,
was, I
that.
was marking.
And I like how
Most definitely.
the people that take the keys to that kingdom were the Nexus.
Yeah, I was like, how could I end his thing with the with the NWO? I was like, another faction, the Nexus, which
Right, because
also,
it's tricky to book those huge factions because the only people that can beat them is
yeah,
themselves or a group
or
just as big.
exactly. And the only group bigger would be the Nexus, so definitely, and it makes sense parallels to real life when he let Cena.
Hmm.
So definitely, I was marking out when I came up with that idea. Definitely, bro.
Yeah, for sure. What I tried to do with mine too was the how just to get people to hate Cena even more, have him have him pay the Shield off
Yeah, I thought that was a really good
and
touch.
try to kind of frame CM Punk with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I dig
basically,
that.
The Rock's distractions were all on Punk when really Cena didn't really. Um, when Cena,
No,
all Cena wanted was the WWE Championship and to redeem himself.
most definitely, I dig that a lot. I could see that Shield being that type of faction that you could get to pay off to just beat someone up and shit. I really dig that.
Yeah, and thing with The Rock too is Cena. It was to the point where Cena just did not want to see him win. It's not like Cena needed to get a redemption or anything like that. It was just Cena's redemption came through winning the WWE Championship instead of him.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of The Rock. Hell
That
yeah,
way,
man.
that way you make it about the title,
Yeah, I'd
which
make
makes
that title look good.
right and make the title feel extra important.
Most definitely that Cena would go all these lengths for it. Definitely, man. Hell yeah. Great shit. Great booking.
Also, I think the visual of him sitting on the ramp
Oh my, I
would
love
just
that
be
visual.
great with the
Swear,
briefcase.
especially, hell yeah. Implying what to come. That's so awesome. I dig that a lot.
Yeah, man. But for anybody else in the comments, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we head out of here?
Yeah, talk about anything, man, except news, because it's kind of for a Friday show.
You know, yes, we could. Do you have
I
any
mean,
stupid tweets you'd like to share?
let me actually pull up some stupid tweets. I have some saved in my photos, screenshots, because goddamn, are people on Twitter stupid? So, I got this one here, and it says, it's from a guy who says, his name is I'm Vince McMahon, and so he's clearly likes Vince. And at this post, you know one of those, like, fraction posts, where it's like the little thing with who's better and who's not? You know that
Oh,
type of
yeah, yeah,
post?
yeah. Where it's like
Yeah.
greater than type post.
Yeah. So basically, a pencil is greater than Kenny Omega, and the tweet in it says, the difference is the pencil can actually draw. My
Oh,
god. How many Tokyo Domes has fucking Kenny Omega
seriously.
helped sell out? Come on, he is a legend in Japan, bro.
Honestly. I mean, he
And there
told
was
stories about he used to go into restaurants and they would feed him for free. I'm
exactly
like, what the hell?
everyone here knows him, bro. Like, and there was so many comments talking about like how Pencil probably wrestles better than him. I'm like, bro, what? I'm just thinking like, man, you guys are just so stupid. 'Cause
Really,
people hate
really,
Kenny.
really quick too. What did you think about the Nexus, the whole Nexus story, how that panned out?
Oh, yours?
Oh no, just how WWE booked it.
Oh my god, man. Way to flop such a different and awesome faction, bro. Just a gang mentality of just 7 dudes, and you just somehow managed to flop that. It's fucked, man. It's a national tragedy, man.
I always ask myself
And
too. I often ask myself, why would you come up with a concept so different and
yeah,
so just so different and so just
yeah.
unique just to throw it
Mm.
all away?
So like you get all these guys from NXT, all these quote unquote rookies, and you're telling them we're gonna put you guys in a group, and you guys, the whole point of your group is to like add its unit to just show your worth and just rise in the company as a group, and then you bury them. Like, bro, what?
It doesn't
Oh
make
my
any
god,
sense. It just it really
swear.
doesn't. Like my thing with that is too is it's like how did Cena not see in the moment that that was a horrible decision to
I
make
know.
at SummerSlam?
Seriously, like, what was going through Cena's mind that was like, damn, this is some great shit.
I
Like,
know,
no, like,
especially
dude,
when you had two of the smartest people in your ear, that being Jericho and
yeah,
Edge, telling you
yeah,
like,
tell me that's a dumb idea. You
that's
shouldn't have
not
done that.
good.
Exactly. Like, bro, come on, man. I don't really want to know what was going through Cena's mind when he did that shit. But,
Honestly,
but the fact is that since we learned that Vince McMahon, I think it's a known fact at this point, Vince McMahon does not like factions. I think looking back, it makes a lot of sense, but what doesn't make sense is why Vince would agree to the idea of the Nexus in the first place.
exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get those decisions, man. Just the way it just panned out just doesn't make sense. Like, bro, come on. Like, I get you hate factions for no reason, but come on, why agree to create such an engaging faction that you're just gonna kill? And be surprised when people don't like you for killing that faction. Like,
Yeah.
where's the logic in any of that?
What do you
There's no.
What do you think about McMahon? I hate calling him just McMahon because I think of that Hulk Hogan promo.
Oh God.
You actually think McMahon? Um,
God.
um, what did you think about Vince pulling out of the deal for that Kmart thing?
Wait, you pulled out that deal afterwards?
No, I mean,
Oh,
so
pulling out the idea for
yeah, so
Oh,
basically, I guess Cena was really upset about it too because he spent a
yeah,
lot of money on new gear and he spent a lot of money on making a new song and came up with a
yeah.
new entrance and everything.
Seriously, man, all that work to be thrown away for a Kmart deal. Look where Kmart is now. They don't exist anymore.
I
They're
know
out of
that's the
business.
true beauty. Kmart's out of fucking business now.
Swear, like, bro, all that, all that idea, a big moment in your company's history, what it would be, thrown away for a deal with essentially with a Walmart-like store. Like like in Kmart, it's a store between Target and Walmart. Throw away a John Cena heel turn, something that would get your company so much traction for a Kmart deal. Bro, what? I want to know how much money Vince made from that Kmart deal. Because no matter how much he made, it wasn't worth over a Cena heel run.
And the worst part about it too was of the decade, how many true moments did we get out of WrestleMania? One.
Seriously. Yeah,
One.
seriously. One true moment, bro.
Two. Two.
Two.
I take that
What?
back. There was the Taker streak thing too.
Oh, yeah, that big moment. That's more of
And
a negative big moment.
and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
One. Can you imagine the moment of
Oh,
John Cena turning heel at WrestleMania 28? Yeah, 28 was in
God.
2012. Can you imagine?
God, bro. Everyone would remember that moment. Everybody, bro. That would be a moment in history, bro. And they just Vince said no to it for a
Un-
deal with Kmart.
Unbelievable, man.
Swear,
Honestly.
man.
Unbelievable.
Seriously.
I got a good tweet here, man. Here we go.
Mm.
I want to get your take on this one. I put two of the most overrated wrestlers ever in one tweet for you guys. And it's a fucking picture of Bailey and Sasha.
Bro.
Dude, are, who's smoking crack? What the?
Who is on his profile picture? I know it's that dude wouldn't put himself on his profile. Who does he have as his profile picture? That's the real question.
Uh, just some weird cartoon drawing.
Like, man. First of
Bro,
all,
these are the two best women they have. Can
exactly.
you see the SmackDown Women's Division? How much on a different level they are than everybody else?
See, none of them can get to the level of Bailey and Sasha, bro. Fucking Lacey Evans, garbage. Carmella, garbage. Fucking Natalia, her heart's there, she can wrestle, but she's just not at their level, bro. Neither is Naomi. Alexa Bliss, garbage. Fucking, like,
Man.
bro. Nia Jax, garbage. Tamina, why are you employed? Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and like he's bringing up, it's not even only the SmackDown Women's Division; it's the Women's Division in general.
like, bro, the only people who could compete to their level are Asuka and Shayna. And women in NXT, but they don't even count because they're in NXT. So, like, bro, like, none of these women compete, even come close to compare to them, bro. Do you guys really think a fucking Charlotte, a Charlotte compares to them? Come on, come on. Charlotte, she's garbage in every aspect of her form. She can't wrestle. She can't come promo. Her look isn't it. Her look is just a female version of her father's. Charlotte ain't it. Like, bro, like, dude,
Honestly, I
just
mean,
just watch their matches, please.
honestly, man, I mean, dude, I even in the women's, like he's saying, even in the women's division in general, I could probably count the amount of women on one hand that would look that at least are up to par with those two.
Yeah.
Asuka,
Serious.
Shayna,
Shayna.
fucking Becky.
Becky, definitely. I think I didn't mention Becky. Definitely Becky.
And
Fucking
Io and Candice. That's it.
Yeah.
And maybe Candice.
Maybe Bianca too, maybe. But like, bro, no one compares in the ring, especially, bro.
Oh fuck no.
God no. You're telling me a fucking Lacey Evans comes close to her? Lacey
Oh
Evans
my
is hot
god.
garbage. You know, she's fucking ugly garbage. That's how bad she is, bro. Like, bro. None of the women can wrestle. Besides those two. Most of the division can't wrestle besides them. Most of them can't tell a story like that. They can. Most of them can't cut a promo like that. They can. Like, right now, I'll admit it, Bailey and Sasha's promos suck. They're cringy. They're main roster. They got main roster of 5. I think it's quite obvious. But look at what they did in NXT, man.
Oh my god.
Look at the...
Some people say that's the greatest women's match in women's history.
Exactly, bro. A woman, this doesn't happen often, a woman made a fan cry because she was such a bitch. When does that happen? Sasha made fucking little Izzy cry. Like, bro, when does that happen with the women?
Izzy turned heel before Roman Reigns.
Swear to God, she's fucking undisputed. She's a champ on Mark when he was heel. Her ass turned heel, bro. But like, bro.
Jesus
What?
Christ. Here's one. I may rock your boat.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe people who are hating on other people who want Jinder versus Drew. Okay. I'm afraid of sharing my opinion on Twitter. Please know that others can have opinions and not just state their thoughts as facts. Dude.
Bro. That is... Bro.
That is the one thing that, like, yeah, they have a story of 3MB, but Heath's gone. So, like, Heath was the leader of it all. So, like,
yeah.
So what? You were both lackeys in a group. So what?
Exactly. Oh well.
At least with Wyatt and Strowman, fucking Bray was the leader, and Braun just up and left. And these guys were released. It's not like they turned on each other.
Exactly. They were just fired.
Like, and what warrants Jinder Mahal to have a fucking WWE Championship match? What warrants that at all?
What warrants that? He was gone for how long? Doing jack fuck at home. Comes back and gets a match.
I think he had knee surgery. I think that's why he was gone.
Yeah. Seriously, who are you, Cena? Like, bro. No, who are you, Brock? What are you doing?
And he's bald, too. That's the worst part.
God, he looks like an idiot now. Like, dude. At least he had some...
I forgot I sent this one to you. This one just caught my eye. Okay.
No.
This is by Twitter Goon number 1. Number 1, yes, number 1 is the worst one. Okay. Y'all can hate Big Show if you want, but the facts are here. Big Show, greater than Johnny Gargano. What the fuck? I don't understand you people, bro. What are you talking about? Big Show is greater than Johnny Gargano? Can you name a Big Show match that was good in the last 20 years of his career?
I asked that person how. Big Show is not larger than life. Everyone always knew him as a joke. Not to like knock on Big Show, but he's always been a joke.
Yeah.
He's not good on the he's not great on the promo. He's not terrible, but he's not memorable or engaging on the promo.
He can run the rope, so what?
Yeah, exactly. He is a literal meme in the wrestling world, bro. And you're comparing him to Johnny Gargano?
A
Like, I'm
guy who
genuinely,
was told the greatest stories in NXT.
swear, had the most compelling and best matches in not only NXT, but this fucking company's history, bro. Like,
Honestly,
you're
he's
comparing him to
he
Big Show.
is definitely the holder of NXT's greatest match, and it's very arguable that he holds the greatest education, the greatest match in WWE history. That's arguable as fuck. His match with Andrade Cien Almas, bro.
Like,
Jesus, it's
oh my
yeah.
god.
Mm-mm.
Like, bro, the emotion in that. When have you ever felt emotion in a Big Show match? That's the question. When have you ever felt emotion in a Big Show storyline? Come on,
All of
man.
them.
Like, bro. Oh,
I
I
just,
hope
I
that
just
dude's.
love that one story where he turned heel 3 times in the same show. I think he did that
Bro,
before, actually. I think
I
he did
I can see
a face turn in the beginning of the show, and then at the end of the show, he turned back
it.
heel. I swear to God, I think that happened before. I think it did. I just don't know when.
Bro,
I'd have to look into
I
that.
can see it. Like, bro, come on. Like, I get it. Johnny does it's kind of starting to be a trend where he loses his mind a lot and flips back on whatever he wants to do. But at least his turns make sense in his mind, or in the storyline's mind. They make Big Show just randomly turn for comedic effect. Like, bro.
And they make
Like,
him turn heel, like, and they make him turn heel. And it's like, you're turning heel for John Laurinaitis? Like,
yeah,
didn't this guy just
like,
fire
bro.
you the other week?
Seriously, like, Gargano turns heel for all the same reasons. Ciampa. Whether it was heel or a face, Ciampa. That makes sense.
Ciampa, because Ciampa is what breaks him. That's his brother.
Exactly. Legit, that's his best friend, that's his brother. Of course he would break him. But Big Show he turned heel against the fucking Bar when he joined them for 2 weeks. Like, bro,
The
first
big
of all, why
bar.
did you join the Bar? And second of all, he just turns heel on them in a fucking backstage segment. Just fucking WMDs one of them and leaves. Like, bro, what? And you compare him to Gargano. I hope that dude was joking. I genuinely hope, because if not, then he needs to go see a doctor. He really does.
Jesus, man. Alright, let's see. We got any more? Gotta be something on here. Honestly, man, I just don't fucking understand people sometimes. I don't
Oh,
understand let's see. Okay, yes, okay, are you with us?
I am back. Sorry for that technical difficulty.
It's alright. I already got one.
Alright, let's hear it.
Barney?
Oh no.
Immediately, you're a troll.
Oh, I mean, you gotta be trolling.
Barney is better than AEW and NXT. Dude.
Bro. AEW and NXT are wrestling's only solaces. At this
I
point,
know.
man. Like,
Seriously.
dude, Barney? Like, bro. Like, I get they're trying to make a joke, but they're serious. You could tell that they don't like. They're not us. They hate smarks, you could probably say. So, like, bro. What? If you think anything is better than those two shows, you are the definition of an idiot. Like, dude. man, come on. Come on, man. They're amazing, both of them, in their own right.
Next
Who's
up,
probably
man, Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion, as we wrap up here, is better than Drew McIntyre.
Oh my god.
Do people actually believe this? Like,
I hope not. I genuinely.
I really wonder, like, do people actually, like, believe in their mind that World Championship reign was any good?
Seriously, that is the second worst reign in history, just right behind the Great Khali. Like, dude, that reign is the reign that killed. That was the main catalyst for the murder of SmackDown Live. Put that in court. Seriously, man. That reign was so bad, he buried Shinsuke Nakamura. And you're gonna say that he's better than McIntyre. I hope he's got, they got the they got me trolling. Cause
Honestly.
I don't think a mind can get that stupid.
That's the thing I don't get, too, is, like, why, like, bro, do you understand, like, were you watching SmackDown during that point in time? Like, were you watching the show? Do you understand how bad SmackDown had a kick at, bro? They went from having a not too good of a roster in 2016 to put on the last bit of great main roster television came from that era of SmackDown. To draft a roster where it's got a lot of stars on it, and that is the result of the show?
Yeah. Like, bro, what? When you say that's better than McIntyre, who's genuinely a really legit and good champion? Like, bro, what?
And the look, too. The look is so it's just great. It's honestly like he just looks legit. You know what I mean?
He really does. And Jinder, though how muscle he could ever been, he would have never looked legit. You can't make Jinder look legit, man.
He looks like a dweeb after all they done to him.
Exactly.
This guy's played WWE's resident jobber for fucking some odd years, and all of a sudden he just fucking and you expect him to believe it's legit when he just all of a sudden becomes WWE champion?
Exactly. Like, bro, come on, man. There's no story in it. Like, if they actually built a genuinely good and compelling story for his rise, that would have been better. Of course, the matches would have still sucked, but at least it'd be better. But no, they just look at him now. He has muscles now. He's now could be a world champ. So let's have him win the world champ, and he does. Like, bro, come on, man. Just come on. You can't be that. I swear, I hope that was a troll. And if that wasn't, my God, I need to call a therapist for that person.
Seriously, the education.
But
I believe it's called education. So yeah, guys, that is gonna do it, man, for this. Excuse me. For this edition of the podcast. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed our fantasy bookings. Had a lot of fun doing them, of course. Yeah, man. I mean, we will see you guys Friday with some news. We got a lot of news, obviously, a lot of interesting news Monday. Coming out of Monday, we will get to that on the Friday show, obviously. And man, we will next time we see you guys. For the weekly show, not the news show, it will be for, I always forget how our format goes, top 10s. And our top 10s, the last time we brought to you guys top 10s, we brought you failed runs, obviously. A lot we can talk about. as far as failed runs. We'll be bringing to you the best runs in WWE, in modern WWE, that we have seen, and top 10 wrestlers now that we're removed from all the firings, and now I think the coast is clear for the firings. What wrestlers we're surprised did not get fired, and yeah, guys. That is going to do it for this edition of Episode 6, Part 1 of the Notorious Heels Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed the what ifs. Again, what if John Cena never turned heel, and what if the Nexus never got buried? So, okay, you got any last words, bro?
Thank you all for joining. Hope you guys can join Friday shows and next week's shows. And thank you guys for listening to our booking, and hope to see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, with that being said, you guys, that is going to do it. Thank you for everyone who watched the show. With that being said, that is going to do it for this edition of the podcast, you guys. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.